BeatStars has acquired Lemonade AI, and what some are saying is the very first step towards ethical, creator-owned AI music ecosystem.
How you still dying? You got a 1,000% invincibility. How are you still dying out here musically? Golly, you suck.
But this is the way producers.
DIYers, imagine this. We have some actual good news when it comes to AI and a good example of what it looks like to do things in an ethical way. Hey, good to know that there's some people out there that exist with ethics. That's awesome. That's great. It happens to come in the form of BeatStars, the popular marketplace where producers sell their beats. We had a conversation with the CEO from BeatStars, Abe, and he talked about some of the plans that they had for BeatStars. And this is one of the things that he kind of teased in the interview that we had. Well, now the announcement is here that BeatStars has acquired Lemonade AI, integrating generative AI music into rights-first creator-based platform. Let's explain what that means, because I know when you hear that, it's like, oh, God, here we go with more AI. But this one is actually good news. Shout out to Demiza for breaking this one down.
Breaking news, BeatStars has acquired Lemonade AI, and what some are saying is the very first step towards ethical, creator-owned AI music ecosystems. The Lemonade team will fully integrate into BeatStars, with the founders leading AI technology and innovation across the platform. The core promise here is AI trained with consent, attribution, and compensation.
Oh, consent. And compensation. Consent and compensation. Imagine that.
Baked in. Lemonade claims its models are built in the likeness of specific producers, only with explicit approval. Creators who train their systems retain ownership in the outputs.
You mean they didn't have to steal from 10 million people?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Dog, these AI CEOs of these companies should not be multimillionaires. They should be in jail. They should have their goofy asses in somebody's jail cell, because any one of us attempt to do a fraction of that shit with somebody's copyrighted music, we would be in jail. Do you hear me? Now, we know the powers that be have a vested interest in making sure they stay out here and continue to advance AI. But I saw some news that said OpenAI is losing billions and billions by the week. Yee. Isn't it great to see an example of how it's not that fucking hard? Find you a group of people that you can work with that are talented, because it seems like they got access to some very talented producers. Shout out to 1500 or Nothing. Some very talented music producers, some of the best musicians of our time who are willing to work with you. So then why do you got to steal from people without their permission? Why was that ever okay? When you see this, it makes you excited. It makes me happy that somebody's doing it the right way, but it also pisses me off because I'm like, bitch, you could have did it the right way the whole time. Not talking about BeatStars, but these other companies. This shit is wild.
That's a sharp contrast to the broader AI music arms race, where creators fear being stripped from the value chain entirely. BeatStars says the acquisition turns ethical AI from a philosophy into a product, with over 10 million users and over $450 million paid out to creators. The CEO, Abe, who reached out to me yesterday, shout out to him, frames this as a defensive move. Move fast or let AI erase creators' leverage altogether. The bottom line here is this isn't about replacing producers. It's about locking in creator rights into the AI layer before someone else locks them out. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. I think it's a step in the right direction. Story developing.
It's good to see an example of a company that does that. You would hope others would follow in their footsteps, but we know how this thing goes, especially when it comes to the arts and how people treat the arts and the artists. Anyways, this article that I found here that is on Forbes says BeatStars acquires Lemonade AI, integrating generative music into rights-first creator platform. For much of the past 2 years, the music industry has debated what ethical artificial intelligence should look like. The discussion has revolved around familiar concepts: consent, attribution, compensation, transparency. These principles are broadly shared across artists, labels, and policymakers. Yet in practice, most generative AI music platforms continue to operate without clear standards that can be measured, audited, or enforced at scale. As generative music tools enter commercial workflows, the gap between ethical claims and operational reality has become increasingly visible. Many platforms promote creator-friendly narratives while relying on opaque training practices, unclear ownership structures, and economic models that disconnect artists from the value generated by their work. BeatStars has spent the last decade building what many AI music companies still lack: a scaled creator economy with real payouts and an operating rights layer. The company says it paid over $400 million by late 2025 to creators, with 1.5 million tracks downloaded monthly from its marketplace of 11 plus beats. The acquisition of Lemonade AI by BeatStars marks a meaningful shift in that landscape. BeatStars and Lemonade have linked for a while. In mid-2023, they publicly announced a strategic partnership around what they called ethically sourced AI. Rather than positioning ethical AI as an abstract principle, the deal offers a concrete case study of how accountability can be embedded directly into infrastructure, rights management, and payout systems that already operate at scale. Don't let this be a success story. Don't let this be a success story. Imagine, and I have so much faith in BeatStars and Abe with the leadership. Don't let this be a success story where they're able to create a superior product, a more focused product. Because even though we complain about the tens and millions of our songs being combed off of the internet and used for machine training, some of them inputs ain't good inputs.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Nigga, when I said 10 million songs, do you think that 10 million amazing songs actually exist? That's another way to look at it. Do you think 10 million amazing songs exist? Or do you think they're pulling from a lot of trash? Ugh. So it makes me wonder if that greedy ass, the American way approach of just bombarding and taking all that shit for the machine training that they did, if it's actually going to backfire. Cause I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of this shit is trash. It's incredible to me. You pride yourself on being a prompter, and you think that you're doing something competitive. No, you're exposing just how bad your taste is.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I get why you needed to play Grand Theft Auto on God mode. I get it. Cause you suck at the game. You suck so bad that you said left, right, R2, L2, and you got a jetpack. You got invincibility. Bitch, and you still died. That's crazy. One more time. Bitch, you still died. You had every cheat code known to man. You had more money than you knew what to do with in GTA San Andreas, bitch, and you still died. That's not a technology problem. That's a lack of taste problem. And the crazy part about it, your hoe ass just got robbed. And you paid a subscription to get robbed with your hoe ass. One more time. Oh my goodness. Oh, I hate prompters and music producers. The challenge facing ethical AI in music has never been a lack of intent. Across the industry, companies routinely express support for creators and acknowledge the importance of consent and fair compensation. The issue has been structural. I do think what's really interesting is that a lot of these AI companies started off saying, we don't want to replace you. Hey, professionals. We don't want to replace you. Matter of fact, we need you. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they were already stealing from these professionals. They just needed the cosign so that the people who follow these professionals would then follow and become a subscriber. So they played us. A lot of them told us it would be assisted intelligence and not artificial intelligence. They lied about that too. And now what they're seeing is that you could have access to every single skill set known to man, every level of experience, every style and every genre of music. And the best you can become is a watered down nuisance. That's crazy. The best you can do with everybody's skill set balled into one is to be an annoying little mediocre nuisance. You suck. And I hope that after you've gone through this whole situation where you fell in love with your girl, ChatGPT, I hope you realize that after all of this shit, you suck on another level now. Like you suck on a level of like this.
I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday.
Generative AI systems are complex, and most music-focused platforms were built without rights management architectures capable of tracking usage, attribution, and revenue distribution at the level required by AI-assisted creation. As a result, ethical commitments often remain disconnected from the underlying technology and economics. Interesting. Well, shout out to BeatStars. Curious to see how they continue to lead the way and how many companies actually follow through. I'm really excited about this idea of this being a better model. Now, I asked this very same question in this interview that I had with Shiansi, which I'm pushing it because I really want you guys to go check it out. She is a very bright mind and a very inspiring and no nonsense voice in this space. And I want to see her become one of the leading voices in the producer space. So go show her love because she's unapologetic and she gets straight to it. I asked her the question because she's been very critical of AI music, unethical uses of AI music, not the technology, but the unethical uses by Suno, Timbaland, and Bussy Works Beats. And so this is what she had to say in this timestamp here in our interview about what does ethical actually look like in this particular scenario. Matter of fact, let me actually pull this up here so that I can see where we at. What is ethical? Boom, 109. Okay, let's hear it. I'm gonna say, what does ethical AI use actually look like from your perspective?
So ethical AI is you went about getting the licenses the right way. And a lot of people, the companies, it's how do you say? If I go get, and this is why Suno didn't want to go get the licenses the right way, because then I'm leveraging or I'm negotiating from a place of you have the power versus if I go ahead and I go to market and I get there first, now you have to leverage with me. I'm negotiating from a place of power now and from a place of having the leverage. So ethical AI is you actually went about doing it the right way. Here's the thing, you get supported now, because everybody else who actually wants to use the technology, who sees that you respected them, wants to support you now. Yeah. So now you have all of this market share that nobody else was able to get. So I feel like it does have its pros to, yes, people going to get it the right way. Ethical AI is going to pay people. You're going to see some sort of training logs that are transparent, right? We're not hiding anything. There's disclosure. Right? It can be tracked. That's what ethical AI is. Ethical AI is going to have some sort of payout or some sort of royalty structure where people, when money is being collected, is paying out the people who is using their stuff the right way. So some sort of technology is going to have to be created to be able to track down whose work is being used and what pools do get paid, right? But that's the point. Ethical AI is ensuring that the company has went about getting the licenses the right way, and that the people whose works or copyrights or whoever is being used are properly being compensated, properly being credited. If they waive credit, that's fine, but they gave consent to do that. It was in the agreement. Right. They signed off on the license. They were paid. It's no different than Splice, right? We have royalty-free licenses to use Splice. Why? Because the original creator gave consent. They said, I don't need my name on this. They were compensated for their works. Now we can take it and we can make money off of it because it was done the right way. So that's how it needs to be reflected in AI.
Yeah, I love her answer. Shout out to her. I love that answer by her.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
It's always been a possibility. They knew there was always a possibility of it, but the problem is they wanted to go for what was going to be the home run, and they wanted to get it quickly. It is an arms race between the U.S. and between China when it comes to who can get to the biggest advancement the quickest when it comes to AI. That is a very real thing, which means that if these countries have that as a center focus, of course they're going to get. Of course, these companies underneath these countries are going to get funding. They're going to get prioritization. They're going to have the government turn a blind eye, even though they're illegally doing something. There's something else. Let me end on this note. I don't know how the CEOs of this company cannot be some kind of sociopath to pop up and look artists in the face after you stole from them. Your entire business model is built off of the hard work and the backs of people who made your shit sound like something. Because truth be told, if you only had to judge from royalty-free music from people who are not as good, right? We don't have the BBL Drizzies. We don't have the songs that ended up going viral. You need access to this other stuff in order to make this even something. And the thing about it is they've gotten so fucking nasty about it. Even when I look at Sora and I'm like, so y'all would sacrifice the legacy of some of the most important black voices in history, in entertainment, in politics, in social justice. You would sacrifice that reputation to soft launch your bitch ass AI image to what you call it? Image, text to video. You do that because you knew the controversy was coming. See, it's that kind of shit that makes me feel like when H&M did the advertisement or the t-shirt, the controversial t-shirt that had a black kid and it said, coolest monkey in the jungle. It has me to believe that shock marketing, no matter how apologetic that PR message is after, mission accomplished. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what it was going to be. And it's the same shit that feels like it's playing out now with these images that they're putting out there. Dr. Martin Luther King talking about how great the chicken at 7-Eleven is. Right? You got Prince and Michael Jackson having an argument about who had the better funeral. You got Kobe Bryant and you got Tupac out in Cuba implying that they're still alive as they have family members that are still mourning, implying that they're still alive in just a way. What are your thoughts though? Do you feel like this is something that is a positive? Do you feel like people are going to still get out here and ride dirty? What do you think is going to happen next after the standards being set? What if it's actually a better result, a better product? You know how much that could shift things? Because some of them inputs is from some very terrible fucking people who can't make shit. Even with AI. How the fuck you still fuck up with the cheat code? Nigga, you got God mode. How you still die? How you still die and you got 1,000% invincibility? How are you still dying out here musically? Golly, you suck.
DIY.
Tear in your eye.